Hello everybody and welcome back to Get to the Point Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look at the DJI Mic Mini. I found this guy on sale for the first time since it launched late last year, and so I thought I'd pick it up, and if things go well, this could be the last video that I record with my blue Yeti mic. So let's find out. Today we're primarily doing a first impressions and unboxing, not necessarily in that order. And so why don't we just get into it and take a look at see what's inside. Inside we've got some manuals and what could potentially be stickers. I don't know what I will do with these stickers. I am not a sticker person, but I certainly am not a DJI fanboy enough to put this on anything. Back into the packaging it goes. Some legal mumbo jumbo, the quick start guide, and safety guidelines. Now for the good stuff. As an aside, this packaging is intense. There's maybe more adhesive and plastic in this than I was expecting. So inside, what we have is a carry pouch. It's actually quite soft, really plush. It's got a handle and it's got a DJI branded zipper. It even has a tag that says it's a DJI Mic Mini carrying pouch in gray, and it's made of polyester. This is all information I didn't think I needed, but here we are. I suppose it's possible they sell this case separately. That's maybe why they have it. Here we got some DJI branding, and when we go inside, we've got more plastic. For what it's worth, this carry pouch is not just a simple pouch. It's got internal pockets. One is zippered and two are mesh right here. And it feels really soft and it's very plush. So far so good with the build quality of the accessories. Do not eat. We're going to start with some of the non-essential accessories first to see what's going on. So here we have a 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter jack. This is presumably to plug the receiver into a digital camera, which would have a mic in. Here we have a USB-A to USB-C cable. Here we have what some people affectionately call dead cats, but for the purposes of this video, we'll call them wind screens. These wind screens have pretty easy to use, presumably, clip-on attachments, so you can just clip these onto the microphones and it will protect the microphone from wind. There's no functional difference between these two types, but they are mostly just for looks and maybe for camouflaging purposes, whichever one fits better with what you're wearing. However, I have heard that you don't really need these when it comes to the noise cancellation on these microphones. They're good enough, you don't really need the wind screens. And I don't even know how to keep these clean, so I will most likely just keep them in the plastic. And now for the main event. So here we have the main DJI Mic Mini charging case. You could get this as a one receiver and one transmitter pack, but this one comes with two transmitters and one receiver. So the moment we open this, you can see lights start blinking. Only the left one is blinking and not the right transmitter. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening there. We've got low battery here, so I think it's been sitting on the shelf for quite some time. I'm gonna have to charge this up. However, you can see that the receiver and the transmitter are blinking together. That's a good sign. I'm not sure, maybe this transmitter is out of battery, but let's take a look at what's inside. Now you can see that all of the lights are blinking. All right, so this is what you get in the box. Primarily, it's the receiver itself, the two transmitters, a USB-C adapter. If you use Lightning or a phone that uses Lightning, you do need to purchase a separate accessory for the Lightning port. It does not come included in the package. And this is just a rubber filler for what would be where you would put the Lightning adapter. So I'm just going to put that back in here. The receiver itself has a gain knob where you can turn the gain up in increments of 6 decibels. You have the indicators for the mic 1 and mic 2. You have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for the use of plugging it into a DSLR or other digital camera of sorts. You have a link button in case the transmitters are not in sync, and that's primarily to do with if you were purchasing them separately. And then you have a clip and also a place to put the USB adapter. Now, one thing I have read in reviews online and I already agree with, this comes off to make room for this adapter, and then you pretty much almost immediately lose this because it's just such a small, flimsy piece. So it's something to keep in mind. I will try to keep it in the case if I can, but you never know, it just gets lost. So I have to say there is a pretty satisfying magnetic click when the devices are reseated back into the case. It's pretty nice. They're not going to be going anywhere. The microphones themselves are very small. There's an option to use a clip. There's also an option to use this magnet. So you would put this underneath your shirt and then you would attach it like this. And that magnet is pretty strong. That's not going anywhere. So that's pretty impressive. The microphone itself is up here and there's a link button and an on and off button. Yep, that doesn't sit as solidly as the receiver, but it's not going anywhere also. And similarly, this one. Let's try that again. Yeah. I don't love that you have to put the USB-C port up and then you got to push it down with your finger. It just seems like it would be really easy to accidentally introduce some debris into the USB port for no good reason. So there's an interesting spring-loaded action here. I was actually thinking it would be a bit more AirPod-y where it would want to close, but it doesn't. The moment you press this unlock button, actually I was expecting it to open. I see. It is magnetically closed and then locked with this hinge. The moment you unleash it from the magnet, it will open up. And finally, we have a USB-C port on the back for the purposes of charging the case, which will also then charge the interior devices. And so there you have it. That's the unboxing of the DJI Mic Mini. I don't have a lot of first impressions yet other than the build quality, which has been pretty impressive so far. I like that they've included an unnecessary amount of windscreens. That's perfectly fine with me. I do think that in this day and age, a USB-C to USB-C cable would have been acceptable. I don't think we need to have USB-A cables anymore, but for backwards compatibility, I think they feel like this is still a safer bet. The addition of the 3.5 millimeter jack cables are a nice touch. And this case is extremely nice and plush. I can't get over how nice this case is. So overall, I'd say this is a good start. I'm going to record my next couple of videos using these microphones, and I think you can be the judge of how they sound, but I will also do a full review of these if I find that I have enough strong opinions about the outcome. But that's it, a short and sweet video. I just wanted to cover what comes in the box and give you my first initial impressions. If you found this video useful, please like it. And if you want to see the full review when I get to it, please subscribe so that you hear about it first. Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.